Oh, dude, you see that? Look at all that cake. Oh, yeah. Oh.
Yo.
Winner, chicken dinner, or what?
Yeah, you caught up?
Uh-huh.
Nice,
Yes, sir.
dude. Absolute slugfest.
Well, I mean, I sure hope so. It's a home run derby.
Dude, Schwarber against Reese Hoskins.
Oh, that was a round.
Dude, that was insane.
Go ahead.
He didn't even need the last 30 seconds.
Oh, no, not at all. He's heated up. These guys get in these grooves, man, where it's just swing after swing after swing. Harper on that last round.
Oh, for sure, dude. And, I mean, he started pretty slow, but he had definitely the quote-unquote easier route as far as not having to drop 20 bombs in a round to move on.
Dude,
but
yeah, he did. He didn't waste most of his energy early, so I agree.
No, not at all. But, I mean, shit. I mean, Schwarber went 21 in the semis and then still ended up hitting, what was that, 18?
Yeah, I would wonder who hit the most the whole entire derby. That's what I'd be wondering. But hey, fuck it. I pulled Bryce Harper's name out of that hat. That was my horse. My horse won. Got 80 bones coming my way. Holla at your boy.
Dude, I was gonna say, I was like, if your boy in the race is Muncie, you're not gonna like how that turns out.
Nope. If your boy in the race is Heartbreak, you're gonna like the way you look. I guarantee it.
The Men's Warehouse.
Woo! That's what I'm gonna call him now. Men's Warehouse. He's gonna be a Dodger at the beginning of next year. Just watch. He's gonna be.
Hey, I mean, they're gonna be making some moves.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, just think of where the Dodgers would be at if they did not have the injury woes that they had to start the season.
Yeah, I think so. I think they would have picked up right where they left off. Well, obviously not losing the World Series. They wouldn't just pick up right there and just blow. Just continue to give up jacks. But they would before that happened, they would have picked up where they left off.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. I mean, what was that run they had back in middle of last year?
Yeah, they're doing the same thing this year.
53 wins in like 61 games or some shit.
They're pretty much doing it right now. They turned it around. They're winning series. That's all it comes down to, just winning series after series. And I was thankful to come back and beat the Angels after a tough series in Anaheim like a weekend before.
Fucking Angels, man. It's
We're the Angels. We're the fucking Angels. We're the Angels. Fuck the Angels, dude. Go Dodgers.
Dude, I honestly, I would feel bad for Mike Trout if he ends up staying his whole career as an Angel. Like, at this point. It's just so, like...
You don't think they're going to Socia him, dude? He's just fuck.
Like, one Sosha's got to go.
Would he get a job? Would he get a job anywhere else? Like, at all?
I don't think so, man. Like, I really don't. Like, Sosha hasn't done dick since 2002. It's been 16 years since Sosha's won anything important or even come relatively close to doing anything important.
How many years was that? 16?
16 years, dude.
Damn, the Rally Monkey is that old? Fuck.
Oh, God.
Dude, the Rally Monkey is like a rally grandpa now, dude. The rally grandpa monkey.
Because it's definitely not working anymore. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah, I don't know how long monkeys live, but I have to imagine 16 years has got to be around the end of its lifetime. In the wild, for sure.
Oh, without a doubt. Like, they're definitely on, like, their third or fourth, like, monkey, for sure. Like, Shamu style. Like, they've definitely had multiple monkeys so far that they've filmed. Jumping up and down, going crazy.
Yeah.
But, man, like, it's just on pace for literally the best season in the history of the game. And they're sitting in fucking fourth place in the AL West.
Oh, dude, the AL is ridiculous this year. Me and John were just talking about how the NL is basically irrelevant except for, I don't know, The Dodgers. If the Dodgers didn't have that slow start, they'd be kind of up there. But dude, nothing compares to Boston, New York, Mariners. You have Houston, like
even the A's.
The A's, dude. Everybody, Cleveland, everybody's good, dude.
Dude, the AL is ridiculous right now. I mean, it's probably pretty close to like Western Conference hockey for up until like Pittsburgh's little run, and then the Caps winning. But like previous to that, dude, it was like Western Conference. If you made it out of that,
yeah,
it was like a guaranteed cup. And right now, that's definitely what the AL is looking like.
Like, do you see? I mean, that's the problem with you guys. You're pitching like your team requires you to get so many runs every
Bro,
night.
It's to watch this team on what they've had. I mean, I'll give Sosha at least a credit on the fact that the DL has been littered with their pitching staff all season, and honestly last season as well. But Garrett Richards going down, I'm pretty sure for his second Tommy John, just this last week or so. And then you got Shoemaker, who's been out, Haney, who was out for a while, and now he's back. But, I mean, dude, it's just been I want to pull my hair out. Like, you
don't do that, Kelly. You have great hair.
And then, not even to mention Ohtani. Like, you got to be shitting me. And he's not getting the surgery either. Like, one, he had the damage going into this that, it kind of leaked or quote-unquote leaked back during the whole recruitment process when he was visiting with all those teams, that he had elbow damage, that it was common knowledge or all that bullshit. And then so we know he has the damage, gets signed by the Angels, and they're like, oh yeah, we're cool with it, whatever. Has a handful of starts, and then all of a sudden he has allegedly a completely different tear. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, just get the guy surgery. He's 23 years old. He'll come back. Obviously, it's going to take some time. I think it's 2020 by the time he'll be able to pitch again if he gets Tommy John. But, dude, then you're not really going to have to worry about it unless he becomes Garrett Richards and who needs a second Tommy John.
Jesus.
I mean, you got, just blow up that pitching staff. Like, Artie Moreno, coaching staff, not the pitching staff. Sosha's got to go. Trainer's got to go. Like, just get rid of everyone. It's ridiculous at this point.
Do you have ideas of who you'd want them to hire?
I mean...
No, it's okay if you don't.
Well, I mean, you see nowadays, like, with sabermetrics and all that shit, like, the GM is, I mean, in all reality, the manager. Like, we watched 2 years ago, Joe Madden, literally do everything he possibly could in that Game 7 to blow that game, despite, the Cubs doing everything they could to win it on their own. Like, every move he made, you're like, what are you doing? Like, no, like, what's going on here? And, somehow they pulled it out. But, I mean, player-friendly coaches, like, the GM's going to be making all the decisions on, who needs to go in, who needs to do what. The amount of scouting reports they have now with tendencies and, defensive shifts and all that stuff. Like, really, like, how much of that is on, like, do you really think Sosha's sitting there coming up with this shit on his own?
I think it's
not a chance.
I mean, I think it's your staff. Like, the Dodgers had their whole staff fly out for the All-Star game this year, right? So I think it's Dave Roberts and the people he brings in that establish a system, and if those people are working hard and they're communicating and they're having a good time every day, they're gonna produce a better product, and that means better shifts, better research, better communication. Like, I don't know, the whole organization just works better. So if you've had Sosha in there for 16 years and it has been working, get him the fuck out and let's get some new systems started, because you could have got him out 10 years ago, and 6 years you could have been 6 years into a new system by now.
No, 100%. It's longer than 16 years. It's been 16 years since he won.
Oh, Jesus.
I think he came in a couple years before that, so I think it's been like 18, 19 years or something like that with Sosha. But I mean, dude, exactly what you just said with the Dodgers. Like, it's, Dave Roberts isn't, the one coming out here with all these shifts and like that, but he knows his team. The players respect him. He's got his guys in place. Like, he knows when guys need breaks, guys need to get pulled out of the game. Like, he sees that stuff, the nitty gritty stuff. But the overall, laying out a lineup, who you want in, things like that. Dude, that all goes back to that whole scouting department these days with the stats that they have. Is just, it's some next level stuff. Like, they're putting together teams that are just ridiculous.
You're right. Who's your favorite Angel of all time?
I mean,
you can give me a couple if you want. I have a couple.
Going back to the Rancho days, Adam Kennedy was always a favorite. He was married to Mrs. Wilson's daughter, and the year before they won the World Series, I won like a Angels like prize pack basically from it was like the fall the fall festival, and there's an Adam Kennedy signed photo in that. And then the next year he went on.
Dude, you got you have so many Angels.
Hey, you said give me a few. You're
gonna put that on your few? My God, dude! Talk about a no balls picked, Adam Kennedy, dude. God, my Kingfish goes upstream. Holy shit! There's so many good Angels.
We're getting there. We're getting there. I mean, hey, ALCS MVP, hit 3 home runs in a game. Like, hey. Guy did work against the Twins, didn't do a bunch of shit against the Giants, but hey, he helped get him there.
Hey, first guy to show up, last guy to leave, David Eckstein, right there.
Oh, God, man. Oh, that's Giselle talking to the dog.
Hey, it's a puppy. You're gonna pull your hair out.
But David Eckstein, man, what a fucking guy.
Dweeb.
Like, talk about a grinder.
Complete dweeb.
First team goof troop, without a doubt. Like, throwing motion, warming up. Like, talk about excessive. Like, there's no need to wind your shoulder and your bat that many times before you can swing it.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
I mean, I haven't worked out since high school football, and I can swing a bat perfectly fine without doing any of that shit.
Yeah, first team All-American wet blanket, dude. Like, he's the kind of guy you don't want to bring around to anywhere. Like, you're just like, dude, you're too tense, man. Loosen up, man. You make me nervous. Take a seat. David, sit.
David Eckstein, man. That's quite the name drop, I'd have to say.
I know a lot of Angels. I grew up watching those little fucks.
Hey, I mean, with you, Evan, and John, like, I'm like half a Dodger fan, let alone, Giselle and her family. Like, it was either the Angels or the Dodgers who all I ever paid attention to.
Yeah, I know a lot about him because I used to watch him a lot before I really cared and liked teams too much. I definitely watched the Angels back in that run. That's why I liked the Rally Monkey, because I was a little kid and a dweeb, and I liked the Angels. I'm an Angel fan. Mom, I want a Rally Monkey.
It was Angels.
Tell my Dippin' Dots.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It's great shit. It was. I mean, hey, like I will unfortunately admit that back when I was a kid, the Ducks were a decently cool team to me from all the movies before it was really like, oh man, they fucking suck. And then it was all Kings ever since then.
I'll be the first to admit, I haven't talked with my on the podcast with my brother about this, but there's a picture of me. I don't know if it exists anymore, but I hope it's gone. And if it ever finds its way on the internet, I'm done for. But I was a kid, like a little kid. I didn't know any better. I had Kings pajamas, so I was walking around like these badass, like old school Gretzky, like gray and white Kings pajamas. And then I had a Mighty Ducks jersey because I loved the game. I don't know if it had a number on the back. It wasn't anybody special, but yeah, it was a Mighty Ducks jersey. My brother was like, "You're gonna get that? Why do you want that?" And I didn't understand. Like, oh, they're the bad team. I shouldn't like them though. It's just like, I'm an Angels fan and I like the Ducks. Yay!
I'm not gonna lie, dude. There's definitely a picture that exists. I again hope it also doesn't exist anymore, but I'm pretty sure there's me rocking the old school Ducks logo shirt with like the duckbill hockey goalie mask. And there's one of me just sitting there, just chilling with that shirt on, and I just can't look at it. Like, it's one of those you just wish you didn't exist.
Yeah. Well, Kelly, I wanted to talk to you about growing up in the Wilga household because I remember you guys are my one friend that like weren't allowed video games, yet you had like all the brothers like that were older. You think they could like pulled it? You could have been like, Mom, Dad, it's time to get some video games. All your brothers were like way older than you, but no, they never did. And like I remember I would go over to your house every time I would go over to your house as a kid. You guys were playing some new fucking game you guys created around the house, the front cul-de-sac, the backyard, the pool, because you guys had nothing but time on your hands and didn't know what the hell to do with it.
Yeah. I mean, you said it. It was definitely something else. Mom was definitely against having any sort of, video game console or anything like that. We did have, I will say to her defense, Game Boys. So, rock that for a little while. But yeah, dude, like it was honestly, hey, you're not going to be sitting around the house or inside the house around the TV playing video games. Get your ass outside, do whatever you want to do, but figure it out on yourself.
See, like,
so we would.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, so we would, figure out like, okay, hey, let's just come up with like a random like, treasure hunt, and we'd come up with like clues and shit like that to leave around for just some random, prize that we would find, and like build some random ass forts in the room, or just like
forts in the room. I remember the best. You guys had the best fort. We made a like fort from your room down the hallway, down the stairs into the living room one time.
Dude, it was
epic.
Oh, man.
Hey, one second. I'm gonna push pause real quick and then make a phone call. But we're gonna pick up where we left off with more of your games around your house. Think of a few more because I remember we would play like a little baseball game in your room itself.
Oh yeah.
We would like literally play like wiffle ball, or like I don't even know what you would call it, but like stuffed foam ball in your room by yourself, like, and we would just run around your room tagging bases. But hold on, let me call you right back.
All right.
All right, yeah. So we're back. Sorry about that, Kelly. Yeah, we were just talking about the fucking baseball inside of your big room where you have to share it with Colin. How sharing your room with Colin must have sucked. Side note.
There was definitely the ups and downs. There was definitely the ups and downs. There was a lot of good times. A lot of, obviously, I mean, shit, sharing a room with someone for so many years. There's obviously going to be some ups and downs, but Colin was always the older brother to keep you in check, no matter what you were doing. My
like image of sharing a room with Colin is like Full Metal Jacket, waking up and there's freaking you're getting hit with soap bars wrapped in a pillowcase, dude.
Nothing to that extent for sure, but real quick, there was just one story where my mom was out, so my dad was home watching the four of us, by himself or whatever, and was trying to get us all in bed, and it's me and Colin sharing in bed, and my dad was just like had it up to here with us. Basically, was like, "Stay in bed. I don't want to see you out of bed. I better not see you out of bed." And kind of like walked away, went to go, tell Madeline good night and all that stuff. And then Colin just kind of, we had bunk beds at the time, believe it or not. So Colin just kind of like, I had bottom bunk. He just goes, "Hey, why don't you run across the room and see if you can make it back with dad not seeing you?" And I was just like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" Like, just somehow thought that was a great idea for myself. And just book it across the doorway and just look out down the hallway, and I just see him like leaving my sister's room after he said goodnight, and I just knew I was done for. Just immediately comes into my room and it was just like, "What are you doing?" I get spanked. Colin's just laughing his ass off, just loving it. And I was just like, son of a bitch, like I don't know why I listen to the guy when he says that, but at the same time, just terrible timing. Like, I would have had it if it would just waited 30 seconds for him to just leave and just go downstairs or into his room. But But yeah, that was kind of more or less living with Colin.
And for the people who don't know, like your parents' room was like all the way down directly at the end of the hall, and then your room was at the other end. Like you guys are looking right across down the hallway at each other.
100%. And we had the quote unquote the bonus room.
Bonus.
So it was just the big ass room down at the end of the hall.
Yeah.
Which eventually housed 2 beds, a couch, and a foosball table at one point.
Pretty snazzy Xbox once Halo came out, baby.
Oh, hell yeah.
But hey, before we get back into the Xbox games, though, we were seriously talking about games you used to play around your house. I remember we used to play a game where like you would race on in the pool. You would stand on one of those little tiny like flipboards, and then you would like race on the water.
Oh, dude, I mean, we played anything and everything in the pool. Somehow most of the games we played around our house always revolved around baseball.
Yeah.
Somehow for the most part. Like, definitely played football. There's a handful of hockey. But baseball was somehow king. Between wiffle ball, playing baseball in my room I shared with Colin, or even baseball in the pool, it was always baseball or home run derby or something of that nature.
I have this distinct memory of us playing like home run derby with a tennis ball, right? And we're hitting it pretty far. We were young, dude. And then we were like, let's try a racquetball. That'd be a good idea. Yeah. And like you pitch it to me, and I knock the crap out of it, dude. And
I'm pretty sure it went over my neighbor's house.
Like your neighbor's
never saw that again.
Yeah, behind your house, like across the cul-de-sac, across the front yard, over your house, over your neighbor's house, and probably into the Callahoons.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like
the Callahoons. The Callahoons. Cole Calhoun. Dude, fucking Cole Calhoun, man. That is the best name. He's such a Cole Calhoun. Anyways.
All that does is remind me of we went to an Angel game, and I think it was me, Weber, I think Steven and John. I'm not 100% sure if John was there, but one fan, just empty Angel Stadium, like classic, just middle of summer Angel Stadium during the week. Like we had like a night off or some shit from Fullerton and went down. And one drunk-ass fan was sitting by himself, and there was like a family right in front of him, the row in front of him, and the whole section was just empty outside of these people. Yeah. And this dude is just yelling, Calhoun! At the top of his lungs. And there's no one around him except for one family that's sitting literally in the row in front of this guy. And Calhoun. All he did was just yell Calhoun all fucking game. Just drunk off his ass, yelling Cole Calhoun, and just absolutely wrecking this whole family's time at the Angel game. But
how was the game? How was the game, guys? You guys have fun at the game? The game must have been so much fun. No,
classic Angel Stadium. Bunch of families just hanging out. It's no Dodger Stadium, I can tell you that.
Yeah, it's a bunch of people that are like, what do you want to do today? We have so much free time and money to spend. We don't know what to do with it. We're tired of Disneyland. All the rides are just getting so boring.
We're just hanging out in Orange County, California.
Because we're a bunch of dweebs.
But yeah, dude, you sent that fucking racquetball, like, without a doubt, over 2 houses, clean. But we played any game under the sun in that pool. Like, whether it was colors, baseball, home run derby, where we had to make it into the jacuzzi on the fly.
Yeah, seriously, it was like, that was it was like home run derby, but it was also like, you have to like pinpoint your home run. You gotta be pretty good about where you place it. That I remember that, because you had the 2 rocks that were like the foul poles and everything. That was tight.
Yeah, it was right there.
Oh, I gotta bounce here real quick, but hey, Orange County's not that bad. I was just kidding. Orange County's pretty tight. All right, I'll call you right back.
All right, sounds good.
Oh, you're cracking a brewski? Man, I should probably do that. Fuck. I goofed up.
Nah, you're all right.
How do you want to get back into this?
Yeah, we were at.
I mean, we were talking about games around the house, but we can change the subject, man. I don't give a fuck. What do you want to talk about, man? Do you have anything you want to talk about?
We can go,
Do you remember how well do you remember the story of us getting tickets when we were?
Pretty well.
You do?
I mean, decently. Like,
oh, man,
I mean, it
awesome.
was we were going down to Temecula to play football.
Mm-hmm.
I believe, and it was like a squad of like 10 of us, and like me, you, Cole Brewer, and Tyler Maris were the only 4 kids on like shit with wheels, basically.
Yeah.
And you 3 were on bikes, and I was on my scooter.
You were drinking a fucking Sunkiss with a little red, like a little orange mustache with your gap teeth, smile, and your jaws just hanging out, man, dude. Fucking with your you had a helmet. You had a helmet on and glasses, and you were the coolest freaking
my
kid.
Aviators.
Oh,
yeah, dude, I
God.
was stoked.
Yay! Yeah, every person that drove by you wanted to punch you in the face, Kelly. It's awesome! They got my little full charge.
Fucking guy. Yeah, no, I mean it was, dude, 13-year-old Kelly, because that was the first year I was allowed to get an electric scooter because it was quote unquote acceptable to ride a scooter at the age of 13.
I remember the cop was such a prick for...
Little did we know I had to be 16.
Yeah.
Because it was a motorized vehicle.
Yeah, and I didn't have a helmet on, so you got in trouble for that. I got in trouble for not having a helmet on, and we were literally around the cul-de-sac from my house. Like, sir, I live right there. You're a piece of dung.
Literally just left Montelena Circle.
Oh,
on our
shout
way.
out.
Shout out Montelena. On our way down to the park, and literally I don't even think we got on the Promenade Chardonnay. We were on that, what was that? That side
Heights.
street off of you guys.
Heights.
Yeah, Heights. We were on Heights, I think, and then like about to turn the corner, and the cop just drove by, flashed his lights, and we were all just like, "Oh yeah, well, that's not for us. Like, whatever, we're cool."
It was literally...
Sure enough, flipped a bitch, came right up to all of us, and singled you, me, Cole, and Tyler out. I was like, all right, you 3, you don't have helmets on, you're riding bicycles. And then me, the one kid with a fucking electric scooter, just chilling, helmet on, sunglasses, soda,
mustache.
just cruising along. Just, oh, hey, you get the worst of all the tickets because you're not 16 and you're technically operating a motor vehicle.
This guy was like, I swear he went 200 feet past us and was like, you know what? Fuck it. Turned around, was like, we're going to get all these kids, dude, with smiles on their faces.
I honestly want to look to see when that was in like the time frame of the month. Like, I would be hard-pressed to say that was not the end of the month, and that guy's like, fuck it, like, that's 4 easy tickets. Like, I'm gonna turn around and just grab them.
Do people...
Like, let alone the fact he was driving through a suburban neighborhood, a motorcycle cop, let alone just out of nowhere, just driving through a like, when's the last time you saw a fucking cop driving down that road after that time? Like, never.
Good point. Do they really have to hit a quota?
Oh, for sure. For sure. There's no way they don't. What? Like, I mean, just think about it. Like, if you are a cop and you're, a traffic cop, for instance, or like a beat cop, and it's like, hey, your one job is to, get people running, red lights or stop signs, or, people doing whatever, illegal activity, and you get paid off the fact that you do that job. Like, how do you prove you do that job? Like, it's almost like a necessary evil. Like, there's got to be some sort of benchmark for the guys, like, or else they're just sitting there like doing whatever, Super Trooper style, checking out a billboard with some juicy lips.
You only wrote 4, Officer Steve, you only wrote 4 speeding tickets today. You see Jerry over there in the corner with the donut and the coffee? He wrote 18. He's our officer of the month. I suggest you start following him around.
He knows what he's doing.
Riding his coattails. Like, oh man.
Dude, it was a traumatizing like time period for us. Like,
I was freaked out. I was freaked out until my dad started laughing at me because I was so scared. I was like, Dad, no, I'm so sorry. He's like, he like put it on the fridge and was like, my son's first ticket. And it was like $119. I ended up writing like a 3-page essay, turning it in. They gave me my money back, but they made me write a stupid essay about how I would never do it again. And I think my dad was like, just write 1 page. We'll print it 3 times and send it in. If you look at it, it's like the same thing. He just like moved the paragraphs around, and it was so funny. And then I didn't get arrested, didn't get jailed, didn't get slammed down, didn't get shot at. I'm okay, man. It wasn't that traumatizing, right? Like, yeah. Well,
I mean, as 13-year-olds in our first foray into the justice system, if you will, of having to we're out of school. Like, I don't know if you remember this. You and our dads went to court together to plead guilty.
That's true.
In front of a judge.
Yeah, we had to go to court for that. I forgot. I had to go turn that essay in, but that was like at court.
Exactly. And like you had to literally go up in front of a judge and be like, guilty. Like, I was riding a bike without a helmet, and like I had to go say I was riding a scooter under the age of 16.
I put a no contest, motherfucker.
Yeah, like we had to go in and do that shit just for some random bullshit of like a bunch of kids just trying to play football, like in the middle of summer.
Man, dude, what a bunch of pricks.
It's just that was classic Temecula cops right there.
Hey, what do you? Well, now I don't live there anymore. Neither do you. But like now, I don't they have like heroin to go fight and shit like that, dude? I heard Temecula's fucked from what I heard.
Dude, I couldn't tell you, man. Like
you have to tell me, dude. It's my podcast. Who told you? No, I can't. Why can't we get this information out of you?
You have to talk. No, but I mean, like, I can't see, like, obviously if there's heroin there, that's obviously a big deal, but at the same time, it's like, both of us have moved out, we've both lived in other places outside of the places we're currently at, to where we can understand, like, Temecula is not a bad place. Like, that's not a place. Yeah, like, that's not a place that you need to do hard drugs.
Oh,
like,
I thought you said, no, yeah, it's not a bad place to do heroin. Yeah. I was like, maybe that's the reason why there's so many people dying, is because it's just like
totally super chill to go out into the wine country and just stare off into the distance.
It's like, people go to like Joshua Tree to take peyote. People are like, have you gone to Temecula and taken heroin? It's like supposed to be out of this world.
It's the greatest heroin experience you'll ever have in your life.
Right on Rancho, California, roadie.
But I mean, if you think about, like, the youth, with like issues and like having to do drugs and like growing up in like a rough area or whatever, like Temecula is not that fucking place. Like, no way, shape, or form. Like, I remember, I think the only time I ever saw cocaine was Morgan Augustine, like that one random time out by the park down the street from your house in the boxes. Just like, that was the one time I ever saw it in my life.
That was the one time you've ever seen it in your life?
Up until, like, it was, quote unquote, like, socially acceptable.
It's still not socially acceptable.
Well, no, I mean, that's just like where it was like, it wasn't like the craziest thing in the world where someone like whipped out coke at a party.
Yeah. Oh man, what a name drop.
Yeah, dude.
Well, I mean, Temecula's the kind of
sorry
place
to go there on this.
Temecula's the kind of place where I guess you could get bored, but it's so beautiful. I would never get bored there. There's hills, there's places to hike.
That's exactly my point. Like, there's too much shit to do. Like, yes and no. But obviously you need to be old enough to drive to go to like the beach, like we did, when we had the chance to go to Oceanside whenever we wanted, or like anything like that. But like, still, like, inside Temecula, like, there's still plenty of shit to do.
Get outside and do some calisthenics. My God, just do some calisthenics.
Monica Wilga was onto something.
One hop this time. Right foot, let's stomp. Left foot, let's stomp. Let's reverse.
That's like that.
Let's
that is
go to
literally
work.
the singular most traumatizing song for any like middle school kid to hear. Just having to do that dance in like PE. Like, all right, we're gonna pair everyone up with a girl, and everyone's just chubby fat Kelly.
In my hell.
Out.
In my real hell, it's just the phrase "everybody clap your hands," like played everybody clap your hands, everybody clap your hands, everybody clap your hands for like eternity. Just like, oh God, and then it just starts over again. Everybody clap your hands. You're like, gosh, I hate this song so much. That song is the complete opposite. When it comes on at a party, everyone's supposed to get out and like, yeah, let's do this. This is awesome. I'm like, all right, where's our driver? Let's get out of here. Somebody call an Uber. This place sucks.
That's like the number one just party ender song. Just to hear that. Just hear like, right foot, let's stomp. Like out of nowhere. Like that's just
let's go to work.
Out. Yeah. Cha-cha now.
Cha-cha now, y'all.
Holy fuck, man. I
do you think that guy in the...
doing that dance in Mr. Boyle's fucking 7th grade PE class.
Nah, Mr. Boyle, get back in line. Drew, you spit on the ground, stomp it out. Stomp it out. That's it right there. Stomp it out. The guy I would spit on the pavement, and he would make me crush it out with my feet. You're not going to spit on my pavement. This is my pavement. Blow the whistle. Now do that. Do that.
Oh, man.
I remember we were walking back, right? So everybody had to go back to the locker rooms to change after the PE. So the whole PE, class of PE, like 3 classes, right, of kids, boys and girls, would walk back to these 2 locker rooms, right, and go into their separate locker rooms, change, and come back for the next period. Well, there's like these 2 girls, Noelle and like Nikki, were like walking back in front of everybody, maybe like 50 or 60 kids, because there was 3 classes of like 20. And we're like, somebody was like, Drew, you should go up and pants Noelle. I was like, oh, dude, that's a great idea. Without even thinking, I run up and just whoop and pants her right then and there. Everybody saw her hoo-ha. And man, dude, it was hilarious. I didn't get in trouble. Nobody saw me. It was the smoothest. Yeah, it was nasty.
Dude, it was just all that, like walking back to the locker room, all that reminded me of was
Mr. Ansel.
But post, so on Facebook, the Gran is Gay Club. And I just remember coming to school one day, and like everyone was obviously like talking shit through the whole thread of the Gran is Gay Club. Like at one point, I think Grant said something to the effect of like, "I'm gonna roll your lard ass down the hill." Referring to myself, of course.
Because you were a tubby.
Yeah, and I'm like coming to school, and of course it's like fucking Tom and like Sean Fulbright who are like, "Yo, are you gonna let that dude talk shit to you?"
Dude,
like,
of course, Tom and Sean
he
called
you a lard ass, bro. You gotta fight him.
You gotta fuck his dad.
And it was, of course, just like the circle of, guys just like, yeah, man, like, that's not chill, dude. You got to fuck them up. And, of course, PE rolls around. Grant's got, like, a ding-dong or some shit. Chucks it into my locker. And I was like, oh, no, fuck that. Grabbed it, threw it at his face, tried to wipe it off on me, like, grabbed him, like, pinned him up against the locker, and then just, like, threw him to the ground. And then out of nowhere, Coach Boyle comes running out. I was like, "Hey, what's going on back here?" And of course, everyone's nothing's going on. But sooner or later, lo and behold, get a phone call from the one and only Mark Moore. Talking about the Gran is Gay Club on MySpace with my dad. And I'm sitting down the corner from the stairs, just hearing this whole conversation up in his room as he's fielding this call. Just like, oh, yes, there was a club on MySpace talking shit about your son, huh? And I'm just like downstairs, just like, oh fuck, I am so screwed.
Ah, shit.
Next thing you know, I'm like at Mark Moore's house, like sitting in front of him and Grant, my dad, just like, hey,
With your
so,
tail between your legs.
yeah, we're gonna squash this beef right here, and like all this shit. I know John ended up getting in trouble.
Dude, that's something.
At some point.
That's honestly something the father of a gay son would do. Like if your son's gay, you call the kid parents that's making fun of your son, and you tell them that their son's making fun of your son about him being gay. But you only do that if your son's actually gay.
Dude, and it was just like one of those things of just like, oh, you son of a bitch. Like, how the fuck did this get out that the parents are now involved?
You know what I would have done if I were you? I would have made a Marcus Gay Club. Just like, fuck you, Mark.
Invite everyone that's in the Grant is Gay Club. Just talk about Grant and his dad.
Grant and his dad's gay club. Did you really make that? Did you start that actually?
No, that was, I want to say that was John.
That sounds like a John. That sounds like a John.
Oh, yeah, 100%. And I think he made it, invited everyone, and then it just became like a whole thread on MySpace. And I remember, here's another name drop for you, Carlos Fernandez getting involved. And like he started talking shit to Grant and like all this stuff as well. And it was, it was like a full thing. But yeah, I'm like 90% sure it was either John or like, yeah, nah. I'm pretty sure it was John. There's no way it wasn't John.
When next time he's on this shit, I have to remember to bring it up with him. Like, did you start the Grant is Gay Club?
And it was something along the lines of like, I know Shelly got wind of it. Like, I don't remember if he got in trouble or not, but I'm like 90% sure he did because he said something really fucked up, and I can't remember what it was, but I can guarantee you, that's like the first thing he's gonna say. He's like, "Oh yeah, I got grounded because I said this."
Yeah.
And it was just some super fucked up statement that he commented that he definitely didn't really regret at all either. Knowing John.
So crazy. Cyberbullying back in the OG days,
dude,
man.
Yeah, just thinking of like what Mr. Bihar had to like deal with.
Mr. Bihar. I remember Mr. Bihar was just like this little short guy.
Oh, dude, such like the epitome of like a middle school like assistant principal. If you were writing your own like Captain Underpants like comic book series, like Mr. Bihar was for sure.
Yep, he had like no hair, short.
Vice president that.
Yeah, the vice president, pointy hat, like little pointy head, little bit of hair on top just to cover the bald head, but you could see the bald head underneath. Then a full cul-de-sac, like wore the tie and the shirt, but no jacket. Like,
do you remember the best part about that is that we all had this like, oh fuck Mr. Bihar kind of like mentality, but then we went on the 8th grade trip to DC and his son came on it with us. And we were all like super kind of bummed out that his son was actually like a chill kid. Yeah. And we're like, oh man, like your dad sucks, but like you're cool.
You're cool.
And like we don't mind hanging out with you, man. But yeah, we definitely think your dad's like the total dweeb.
Yeah, your dad has got a little dick. But you got a big dick. How does that happen?
Talk about a great trip. Going to DC as a bunch of 8th graders.
Dude, we got stuck at the Atlanta airport. We got stuck in the Atlanta airport in 8th grade in the Renaissance in the Atlanta airport, and we put every piece of furniture out our window and threw it 3 floors into the pool. And then we left because we were only in the room for 5 hours. We got quick sleep, and then our bags came, and we were like, "Yep, we're out." Boom, we're done. Because we were just waiting on our bags to arrive, and they like knew what flight our bags were going to be on. So we grabbed our bags, and then we caught on the next flight, and we're out of there. It was crazy, or something like that. But
dude, yeah, like I was like one of the handful of kids that literally had to drive from San Diego past Temecula to LAX.
Oh wait, we're confusing people. So I was just talking about Atlanta. So what happened was, our flight. We went down to San Diego to fly out of San Diego over to DC or whatever.
Yeah.
And the flight got canceled, and we had to reroute, but they only had a reroute for like half of our kids there. So then the other half had to get on a bus and go all the way up from San Diego to LAX, and everybody who was at that airport at San Diego was like, fuck that. Hopefully I don't have to do that, right? It ended up being, if you got on that bus, it was way easier because the flight we took, you flew up and you made it there, but nobody thought that was going to happen. Everyone was like, fuck that. Didn't want to go to LAX. Don't want it to be smooth. But what happened was our flight that we took flew into Atlanta and got fucked because like the connecting flight, we missed that, or the bags didn't show up or something. I think we missed our connecting flight. So then we had to stay at this Renaissance hotel. And I don't know who I was with, but I remember throwing a bunch of chairs into this pool. Then we got on another flight and made it into like Chesapeake Bay or wherever the fuck we were learning about pilgrims or some settler shit. We're like smacking bugs. I'm wearing the same clothes I've been wearing for 3 days because we didn't have our damn bags. We had some stupid shirt real 2000 whatever trip, we're doing it. Like, fuck off, dude. We all had the same shirt and we were lost. And then we finally meet up with you guys and we're like, how was it? And they're like, oh, it's good. Like, oh, you guys are all clean and like no bugs were sticking to you. You guys all had brushed your teeth and like we're all just sitting there like the Lord of the Flies kids, like just barely holding it together. We finally got our bags, but holy shit, that sucks, dude. That sucks. The LAX was way better option.
Oh, dude. So you throwing the furniture out the window, just so you know, was definitely you and John.
Were you there then?
No. I went to LAX. Like it was, so with the 4-person room of me, you, John, and Jared Fadden. You and John got paired together, and then myself and Jared Fadden were the 2 that were selected to go up back to LAX. And yeah, so you guys go to fucking Atlanta. We fly into, I think it was like Cincinnati, and we flew out of Kentucky. Like for some weird reason, I remember us landing in Ohio and taking off in Kentucky. So we land in, we're like in DC with like half the group by ourselves. And then we're like, oh yeah, like the rest of the group's gonna meet us at Jamestown tomorrow. And we're all like, what the hell? Like, we're literally here with half of our class. Like, where the hell are they coming from? And we just show up in Jamestown, and it's just a bunch of just haggard-ass kids who are just over life. Like, you guys, I know you and John ended up telling me you stayed up the whole night because you're like, fuck this. Like, why are we going to go to sleep? And it was just like a bunch of kids who were just like, dude, fuck this. Like, we've been up all night. Like, we had the earliest flight in the world.
Yeah.
Like, we haven't had a chance to shower. We didn't even have a chance to go to the hotel. Something about, like, your guys' luggage was super delayed as well. And it was, like, all this shit. And there's just, like, half the class was just like, all right, cool. Like, let's start the 8th grade field trip.
Yeah, right. Let's learn about the pilgrims.
And the other half is just like, dude, fuck this. Like, why are we here? Like, how are we supposed to do this? Like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
And it was, oh, dude. Just starting off, supposedly, the trip of a lifetime. On a great fucking foot.
I wish I remembered it more clearly though, but yeah, that's pretty much how it went down, man. We met up with you guys, and you guys were just all clean. I don't know why we didn't shower in the Renaissance Hotel. We were throwing all this. We were too busy staying up and throwing shit in the pool to shower. I guess I don't remember, but of course it was me and John. I don't think anybody else are gonna give a fuck about any of the names you've dropped so far throughout this podcast. No one's gonna know who the fuck those people are, but they'll know John because John's a knucklehead and he's on this a lot.
Yeah, John's will be like, holy shit, I remember that. But
yeah, of course he does.
Like, literally, the 2 defining moments of that 8th grade trip were that, getting split up, and John and myself, like, going through the Smithsonian and making Mr. Key late for the Native American exhibit because it was, like, the first year that it was open, and he was super excited to see it. And then John and I just like, oh yeah, coming strolling in like an hour and a half late of like after we were supposed to like meet back in front of the museum. We had no idea. We thought we were on time, like chilling, like we thought we were early, and we just like from like a mile out just see Mr. Key just like standing there just pissed. And John and I are like, all right, that's kind of weird, like no one's there. And we just get like closer and closer, and we're just like, oh fuck, like when were we supposed to be here again?
Yeah, that exhibit.
And we
was
get
sick.
there, and he is just fucking
Furious.
livid, and just goes off on us for like, I've been waiting for this exhibit for the last like 4 years, and like this was his like epitome of the trip. Like there was nothing he was going to accomplish outside of going to this fucking museum, and we ruined the whole thing for him, and he was fucking pissed.
Yeah.
And John and I are just like, oh,
you know why he was pissed, though? He was pissed the whole trip because of how it started. He was the one in charge of everything, and he immediately had to reroute for like 15 kids and like 6 adults. You want to know what year my brother went on his field trip? They would go over Thanksgiving, right? So November. He went 2001. You know what happened 2 months before? Fucking 9/11. You know how many kids? He said there were more chaperones than kids on his fucking 8th grade field trip.
Colin was on that trip.
Oh, yeah, they went? Oh, that's tight.
Dude, yeah, he was telling me, he's like, dude, that was the scariest shit I've ever done, because, like, there was just military people walking around with, like, AR-15s and, like, M16s just, like, ready to fucking go.
Yeah.
Because it was, like, a month after it happened, that like, you know, like, right after it happened that everyone was going. And, it was just, like, the craziest shit, and he was like, dude, it was intense, like, there's no one there. I think, I want to say, he said something along the lines of, like, half the kids just bailed, like, after...
Yeah, they did. They just got their money back and left.
Yeah, it was, like, one of the smallest, like, 8th grade trips in their history.
Yeah, he said there were more chaperones than kids. Hey, I have a question for you, because I don't have that great of a memory anymore. I don't understand why I don't even have more memories in my head of, like, what I've done. But I used to have a big anger problem, and my friends usually tell me, like, some pretty funny stories from their angles, because when I get really angry back in the day when I was a kid, I blacked out. I was so mad. I can't remember what happened. So do you have a story of me losing my temper when I was a kid? Any of them?
Yeah, I got one good one. We were in Evan's room because he had the Xbox at the time, and we were in there playing Halo, and back in the early days at your house, and we were sitting there. It was over like summer vacation, I think, so your mom was home, and I mean, slight humble brag here, I was decently good at Halo. And between me and you, we were the only 2 kids that would, like, ever really, like, kill each other in the game itself. And so there's, like, one series where I just kind of, like, fucked you up, and you were just pissed. And, like, you would just add in, like, at the earliest of ages that, like, was, like, you would just comprehend a cuss word. You were dropping, like, shits, like, fuck, like, just out of nowhere, just, like, screaming them at the top of your lungs. But, like, the door was closed. And then you would just hear your mom from downstairs, like, Andrew, watch your mouth. Like, no. And just yelling at you. And then you're just like, Bob, shut up. No. And then just, like, slam down the controller, and then, like, just, like, fucking furious that you just lost in Halo.
Dude,
and I was just like,
my friend that's visiting.
Oh, okay. Like, shit. Like, Vicky's for sure about to just go ape shit right now. And then just, like, sure enough, like, Vicky just calm, cool, and collected was just like, no. You guys need to go outside. Like, I'm not getting yelled at over this anymore. I'm trying to watch my soaps. Like, we're not doing this. And it was just like, holy fuck. Like, Andrew just lost his shit against his mom. And she's kind of calm about it. Like, I don't know what's going on right now. And that was just classic Andrew Taylor.
My mom's such a sweetheart, dude. She has never deserved that. But dude, I think it's funny. I had you over, and you played Xbox with me and beat me, and then you're just sitting there like, should I go or?
Yeah, dude, I didn't know what was going on. Like, you were like practically broken, that you lost in Halo.
Right.
And I was just like, dude, I just got here. Like, we haven't even swam yet. Like
what do you want to do now, Andrew?
I'm pretty sure your mom was like making us lunch or some shit. I'm pretty sure I just rode my bike over from my house to your house. It was just like, yeah, let's play fucking Halo. And
ruin our friendship.
It just went downhill from there.
That's a good one, dude. That's funny. Did you ever break any of your windows or walls in your house, or your brother get out of anger? I know Colin probably broke some stuff. I used to punch. I punched 2 walls. I've broken 3 windows out of anger. 2 were out of mistake. But yeah, I've thrown a hockey puck at my brother. I've punched a window. I've punched the wall. I've thrown a Tonka truck out a door and broken a door. I've thrown a G.I. Joe who stuck. He literally stuck in a window because he got kicked so hard. I threw him across the room, and then he got stuck in the window. But yeah, I've broken so many windows.
There was. Colin definitely had his fair share of destructing of shit. There's one time I low-key broke the bathroom door because I was trying to, I want to say I was trying to get Justin out of the bathroom, and I was kicking it real low, just with the side of my foot, and I got it in a perfect spot, in between
the weak spot.
Yeah, just a nice little gap in between a post that was holding it up, and just snapped it right in. But it was low enough that I was just oh shit, no one saw that. Justin definitely heard that though, and he's freaking out on the other side freaking out on the other side of the door. But I kicked it in. I was oh shit, I don't think anyone's gonna see that. That's kind of low. And luckily, nothing ever happened until I'm pretty sure Colin went full on Rambo on it and just fucked it up, and we had to get a whole new door for it. And then it just, the problem evaporated. But never anything myself. Nothing to the extent of you.
Oh yeah,
that's for damn sure.
Oh yeah.
But there is definitely.
Dude, I stopped once I started smoking weed. My temper went so far away, and obviously I had to put it out in sports and stuff. But gosh, weed chilled me out so much as a kid.
Dude, it was a crazy time for sure. It was everything kind of it was right around the coming into high school, and it was just a wild ass kid from middle school, and just calmed himself out. Plain and simple.
A bunch of gap teeth. Both of us, we had terrible teeth growing up. I'm working on mine with the Invisalign, but man, we had some terrible.
Dude, yeah, I was rocking braces for a while. Yeah. It was definitely not the coolest thing to look at. That's for damn sure.
Your face? Yeah, of course. It's funny. It's funny. No, I'm just kidding. Well, hey, I'm gonna sign off, man. I'm gonna call it, get to bed, and edit this shit, and I'll talk to you again soon.
Dude, for real, definitely. Anytime, man. You want to do this? I'm always down.
Maybe next week or a week or two after that.
Yeah, definitely, man. Hopefully, it's a good epi for you.
All right, dude. Tell Giselle and the pup I said hey.
All right, Andrew says hey.
Later. Nice.
Later, man.
Later, bud.